Hi, in this video, I will tell you why you are never too young to dream to become a lawyer. Before I begin the video proper, let me introduce myself. I am Dean Rod Vera, a lawyer, a law school professor, and a law school dean. If you enjoy this video, please like and give it a share. And it will help this channel grow if you click on the subscribe button right down there. Statistics show that if you click the subscribe button, you'll receive 3 years of good luck and 5 more years of better luck. Enjoy! Welcome back. In this channel, I post videos about law school advice and a few commentaries. And my viewers have posted comments about how it is to prepare for law school. Some of them are in high school, some of them are in college, and some of them are past college but still wanting to go to law school. I already made a video, and the video link is above right here, on that you are never too old to start to become a lawyer. I thought of doing the reverse. Here, I will say that you are never too young to dream to become a lawyer. If you are in high school or even in elementary, or you're in college, here I will show you how to keep that dream of becoming a lawyer alive, how to foster that ambition, how to give you courage to pursue that commitment to become a lawyer. Where do I begin? First, you have a dream of becoming a lawyer, or you've always wanted to be a lawyer, or your parents have forced you to become a lawyer. Nevertheless, you clicked on this video because that's your ambition and that's your dream. What should you do now? All right. Before you enter the rigors and the terrors and the nightmares of law school, you should start preparing yourselves. The first thing you should do is read books. Any sort of books. As long as it tells a story and you'll be able to retell that story in your mind and on paper. Also, in law school and in being a lawyer, it's 80% reading and 30% talking. What should you read? If you are into the fiction books, try to read any novel that you like, whether it be rom-coms, whether it be suspense, thrillers, or even informational books. As a child, I loved to read World Atlas, I love to read almanacs, and I'd like to read this old invention called the encyclopedia. If you don't know what it is, ask your grandparents. Now, if you want to read law-related books on the fiction side, I'd recommend books by the author Scott Turow, who was a lawyer and a prosecutor. Some of his books have become movies. One of them is Presumed Innocent, starring Harrison Ford. Another great book that I recommend is the book by Harper Lee, To Kill a Mockingbird. That book, To Kill a Mockingbird, was made into a great movie. I recommend that you watch it as well. And of course, you want to read all the novels by John Grisham if you have the time. There are too many books for me to list down here, but I'd recommend any book written by John Grisham. If you want to read a non-fiction book about lawyers or law students, I'd recommend the book 1L by Scott Turow. In this book, Scott Turow wrote about his life as a first-year law student in a U.S. law school. When I read the book, I felt it was the same as my experience in law schools in the Philippines. Of course, sometimes it's very hard to read a book or even obtain a copy of the book. In this day and age, in the year 2020, you have more access to movies through Netflix or YouTube, maybe somebody's old DVD movies. To further enhance the choices in lawyer movies, I like to put them into 3 categories. One is commitment to the lawyer's oath. As you know, lawyers only become official lawyers when they take their oath. And we take that oath seriously. These 3 movies, I feel, in my opinion, portray the best example of how a lawyer is committed to his oath. The first movie is based on a John Grisham novel called The Client. This movie stars Susan Sarandon, and it showed her commitment in how to protect the client and how she held the lawyer-client privilege very sacred. Another movie where the lawyer's oath was put into play is the movie Philadelphia, starring Tom Hanks. It's about labor law and about a lawyer being fired from a law firm based on his medical condition. Here, despite all the fears, the prejudice, and the health risk, Denzel Washington as a lawyer, or his character that, for that matter, showed how he was committed to his client and his client's cause. Another movie which shows a great commitment to the lawyer's oath is To Kill a Mockingbird. Here, the lawyer, a white lawyer, defended a African American client who was accused of a horrendous crime. The lawyer, portrayed by Gregory Peck, showed great commitment, great dedication to his client's cause, no matter how unpopular it was and no matter how difficult it was in the time of racism in America. A second category of movies I would recommend about lawyers is those based on the commitment to the client. Lawyers, especially public defenders and some litigation lawyers, have to lawyer or have to advocate for a client who appears to be guilty, who is probably unpopular or belongs to an unpopular section of the government or section of the society. When a lawyer is hired, he must protect the client's interests, no matter what. One of the first example I would say on this category is the movie called True Believer, starring James Woods. It's an old movie based on the 90s, and in this movie, the lawyer defends a prisoner who was accused of killing a fellow inmate. I don't want to spoil the movie. This movie showed how a lawyer would do everything to protect his client. Another movie I would say, a more recent one, starring the late Chadwick Boseman, is the movie Marshall. In this movie, it showed how Marshall protected his client, and again, in a racist society. Of course, this movie was set the time when racism was the norm in America. Another movie which showed great dedication to the client or great commitment to the client is the movie starring Julia Roberts called Erin Brockovich. I believe in this movie she won an Oscar for Best Actress. Nevertheless, although she wasn't a lawyer, she did everything in behalf of the client, or clients for this matter. Here, she went out of her way to get all the information needed so that they can present a good case, which they filed against a big utility company in California. A third category of lawyer movies I'd recommend is what I call the movies that have commitment to the truth. The first movie I'd recommend, although technically it's not a lawyer movie, but it's a movie about the truth, about the prisoner, and how the truth saved the man. The movie is called The Green Mile, again starring Tom Hanks and based on a Stephen King story. I really love this movie, and it showed how the truth can set everybody free. A second movie which showed the commitment to truth is Something That You Can Handle. A Few Good Men, starring Tom Cruise and Jack Nicholson, where the great movie line came from. You can't handle the truth. I know it sounds like a pun or sounds corny, but I believe the lawyers in this movie, led by the character of Tom Cruise, showed great commitment to find out the truth and how to protect an obviously guilty-looking client. Another movie which showed great commitment to the truth is the movie The Judge, starring Robert Downey Jr., Iron Man, and Robert Duvall, consigliere to The Godfather. In this movie, Robert Downey defended his father, who was a judge, accused of a crime, and it showed how, despite all the setbacks, all the hardships, Robert Downey chose the truth in defending his client. Okay, so let's say you're done watching the movies, you're done reading the books. What can you do to prepare yourself for law school? If you're in high school or maybe in elementary, my first tip is to read, and read again. As I said, reading is 80% of law school and 80% of being a lawyer. All the sources that you will use as a lawyer are all in print, whether in books or in the computer, whether it be a digital file, a Word document, or a PDF document. There are courses in law school all about the written word. It's called statutory construction and legal logic. Now, are you thinking of deciding which college major to choose? Here, I made a video, click the link above, on college majors for law school. I'm not saying that they're the best courses, but they are the most optimal courses to prepare for law school. But you are in this video, so I might as well recommend. If you're really committed to going to law school, if you're really committed to pursue that dream to become a lawyer, the college courses that I would recommend, English literature or philosophy. These two courses teach you critical analysis and critical thinking, which is imperative in law school and imperative in being a lawyer. Of course, you can choose any other course that you want, but these are the courses I would recommend if you're really committed into being a lawyer. Aside from that, if you think being a lawyer or going to law school is a secondary choice, pick a course which will be the most comfortable for you. That way, you will have a great time in college and you'll be able to get good grades. If you are still in high school now, I'd recommend joining the theater or drama club. Why? I think in high school, if you join these school organizations or school clubs, it'll take away your stage fright and you'll be more comfortable in public speaking, which is an asset in both law school and in being a lawyer. If you are in college now, keep reading books. I can't emphasize enough. Reading is really, really important. It's a skill that you must love, use, and master while in law school. If you are still in college, please make sure that you have at least 18 units of English or English subjects, 18 units of social sciences type subjects, and at least 6 units of math or math related subjects. That is a requirement in the college course to graduate from law school. It sounds ironic, but nevertheless, for some college students without or have missing requirements for English, social studies, or social sciences for that matter, and math, are allowed to take it while in law school. So might as well take it before you graduate college so that you have more free time in law school. And if you are in the senior year, make sure you choose the law school that is most optimum for you and remember to apply early. Some high-ranking law schools close their law school applications 6 months before graduation time. So do your research well and apply early. I want you to keep that dream alive, that dream that you want to become a lawyer. Let me summarize. The last things I would want to say is that I want to encourage you to keep that dream alive that you want to become a lawyer. I will list down a few things to prepare you to enter law school. First, you have to know that law school is a 5-year commitment, meaning it will be 5 years from the time you graduate from college before you sign the role of attorneys. So you have to prepare for a 5-year commitment. You also have to remember that your college life is a walk on the beach compared to what you will experience in law school. You heard all the horror stories about law school professors? Well, they are all true. Law school professors are 10 times worse than your most terror teacher in college. And I'm not kidding. Also, if you are going to go into law school, know that friendships are hard to come by. It is because from the freshman to the senior year, only 25 to 30% survive. So if you have any friends in your first year in law school, you might not see them when you reach second year. But there are good things that will happen once you pass the bar exam. First, you will get a second first name. Everybody will change your name to attorney. When people find out that you are a lawyer or an attorney, you will get instant respect or maybe some instant disregard. As you know, lawyers are the second most hated professions in this country, the first being law school professors. Another good thing about being a lawyer, you can get paid for just talking or speaking. As you grow into your practice, you'll be able to charge by the hour or sometimes even charge by the word when you write pleadings. And the best part when you become a lawyer is that you made your dream come true. I hope you picked up something in this video. If you have any comments or questions, please put them down below and I'll respond to them as soon as I can. I wish you the best of luck in your law school career and I hope you will become a lawyer someday. Have a nice day. And remember, it's not what you know, it's what they don't know. Goodbye.